New tonight, the big business of transporting prisoners to and from Wisconsin. For more than 2 months, 12 News Investigates zeroed in on the prisoner escape at Mitchell Airport last fall.
Well, that prisoner, Robert Johnson, was being transported from Texas to Wisconsin to answer to a probation violation connected to a drug charge. In addition to learning one person lost his job over the escape, investigative reporter Derek Rose uncovered a flaw in these types of transfers. His investigation is now leading to proposed changes in oversight from the state.
Across the country,
287 Milwaukee departure ident, climb and maintain 1000.
Countless flights from every direction find their way here, moving millions through Milwaukee's Mitchell International. The vast majority of them draw little attention, but last fall there was one passenger.
His name is Robert R. Johnson Jr.
Posed a big problem.
Brown eyes, black jacket, white t-shirt, blue ripped pants.
A manhunt is currently underway for an inmate who escaped custody at Mitchell International Airport.
Robert Johnson Jr. is supposed to be in custody, but surveillance video from inside the airport shows why he's not. That's Johnson running out of the baggage claim area and into the garage, and a person chasing him November 9th.
All squads, we believe that the subject is still in the structure.
410 copies. We're moving down to level 2.
Johnson avoided capture and is still on the run today. So how did it happen? Our first look at the incident report explains the person chasing Johnson was one of 2 prisoner escorts traveling that night for the extradition company U.S. Corrections. When Johnson asked to use the bathroom after landing at Mitchell, one of the escorts, Ryan Crowder, took him and removed the left handcuff from its belt. And according to the report, because of the configuration of the restraints, this allowed Johnson free movement of both hands. Johnson then turned and struck the escort, knocking him off balance, according to another report, where the escort later admitted he knows he should have been paying closer attention. That escort, the document noted, was fired. Since the escape, we've learned U.S. Corrections has contracts with the State Department of Corrections dating back to 2017. The most recent started in 2020. From that date through the end of last year, invoices show Wisconsin paid U.S. Corrections nearly $1 million for more than 500 transports to and from facilities in Wisconsin. The authorization memo for Johnson's transfer put the cost at $7,600 to go from Texas to Janesville, with no mention of a scheduled stop in Milwaukee. In a press release after the airport escape at Mitchell, the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office noted U.S. Corrections did not coordinate their arrival in Milwaukee with local law enforcement on the ground.
It jeopardized the safety of passengers, both here at Mitchell and the airline.
Also concerning for State Representative David Bowen, a member of the Assembly Committee on Corrections.
Sheriff deputies that are already in the vicinity, in the area, could have been signaled and ensure that they knew that as soon as something might have went wrong, there could have been immediate help.
The U.S. Corrections contract claims the company works closely with the TSA, airport security, airport police, and appropriate air carrier staff, and adheres to all FAA regulations for the transportation of prisoners. A spokesperson for United Airlines, the carrier used for the Johnson trip, had no comment. TSA spokesperson told us the agency is unable to address the specific questions about the Johnson transfer. We reached out to U.S. Corrections directly, but have yet to receive a response about the company's lack of notification to local police ahead of the planned stop.
Given that level of money that the state is paying out to this company, shouldn't there be some responsibility of this company to keep the state and local officials abreast of what they're doing when they're doing it?
Absolutely. We're talking about state dollars, taxpayer dollars, and if they aren't, we need to ensure that we are working with companies that actually can effectively do that.
In the nearly $1 million Wisconsin paid to U.S. Corrections in the current contract, the most expensive transfer we found was for Eric Burke, going from a jail in Hawaii also to the Rock County Jail in Janesville. The cost, $12,125. The invoice notes it happened exactly 2 weeks after the Robert Johnson escape. But there's no document indicating whether U.S. Corrections escorted Burke through either of the 2 closest airports to Rock County, Mitchell International and Dane County Regional. Officials at both airports tell us if Burke came through their facility, they were not given a heads up.
If there have been consistent holes that also show that this entity is not stepping up to provide the services necessary to provide safe and secure transport for the state of Wisconsin. I think that's something that we can have a conversation with the governor's office.
The goal, make it difficult for contractors like U.S. Corrections to keep certain segments of their operation off the radar.
Okay, climbing out to 11,000.
Just hours before our story was set to air, an official at Wisconsin DOC announced a proposed addendum to its contract with U.S. Corrections, writing, "The recommendations include mandatory notification of local law enforcement of scheduled stops in their jurisdiction and notification to airports in cases of air transport." The statement also said Wisconsin DOC is satisfied U.S. Corrections recognized mistakes in this case and took corrective action, including discipline and remedial training for its staff. I'm Derek Rose, 12 News Investigates.